We're living in a time where people are more connected than ever, yet lonelier than ever. Everyone talks about the loneliness crisis, but no one really talks about how to make friends. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a self-help guru. I'm just someone who's been lucky enough to build deep, decade-long friendships. And I've learned that it's not magic, it's intention. This is Friendships Unplugged, where we stop scrolling and start talking. Real stories, real friendships, good laughs, insights, and no filters. Welcome and enjoy. Hi, Manu.
Hello.
So nice to have you on Friendships Unplugged.
Thanks for having me.
As one of my oldest, closest friends, I'm very excited to have you here. And as you know from previous episodes, the first question to you is if you may explain from your perspective a bit how we became friends.
How we became friends. Well, that's a little bit in a blur.
Yeah.
I know we met in the train.
Yes.
We just sat in the same
Yeah. We
place.
always ended up sitting together.
Yes. And pretty quick it get a habit. By arriving from our hometown, we went to Chili's, that
my God,
bar
yes.
just across the train station.
Yes, the Mexican bar.
And that's where we ended somewhere in the middle of the night. I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. We ended up
We haven't
afterwards
had any
spending-
direct contact at all. I remember it was really just, I knew I'm going to meet you on my way home and I don't need plans for Friday night because my school day was always Friday. And we ended up there.
Yes, we didn't even have each other's phone
No,
number.
for a
Yes,
very long time.
that's true. We did exchange phone numbers for a
Yes.
very long time, indeed.
And then we met again because after, school was over and we were all working, didn't met us on that particular train. And then we met random at the open air festival in our town.
Yes.
And that's the moment I remember where we exchanged
phone numbers.
Yes.
Indeed. Yes.
Yes, because you said you were living now in town.
Yes.
And why don't we catch up and something? And that's where it all got started.
That is
That's
true.
my memory.
Yes.
And then still very occasionally, not on a regular basis, we were in contact. Mostly we met when we went out in the pub.
Yeah.
Or in the bar.
Or I do remember distinctly you and your ex-husband attending the occasional party at our flat as well. So I've seen pictures of you two being there.
Yes. The first time we went there was a friend of mine told me he was moving into a flatmate
community space, yeah.
And he was inviting me to that party.
Sven, yes.
And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, who are you living with? And then he told me who is living there. And then I, oh, is this Iris? I know. And I was like curious enough to, let's go there. I need to find that out. And then I came to that housewarming party of his.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I didn't,
in your place.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that's in my memory the point where it starts to be a closer friendship.
Yes, yeah.
That was.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Yes.
And then pretty soon you were moving to Dublin.
Yeah, I moved to Ireland, yeah.
Then there was your goodbye party. And then it was, well, I was your hotel while you were in Switzerland.
And you and your ex-husband, you came to visit me once a year at least. And I came home.
And every time you were here, you lived at our place.
I stayed at your guest room, at the air mattress that deflated overnight. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. We've known each other, God, that is 24 years ago then, during our apprenticeship.
It was 99. My apprenticeship ended
26.
99.
Ah, okay. So 26 years.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. What we're recapping now is we were kind of party pals and acquaintances
rather than close friends for the
Yeah.
first at
For the
least
first few
5,
years, yeah.
6
As
years
well,
or so.
of course, because of the distance.
Yeah, yeah,
But still important enough that we
Yeah.
came visiting you.
yeah. I actually think me living abroad has tightened our friendship. So in the beginning, it may have started as a comfort thing to be able to stay in your guest room. But in my memory, that's really when we became very close, very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but funny, not before that.
you're right. Yeah. And yet we have so many crazy memories, even from those early times. But you're right. The early stories, they are more around, well, partying and occasionally dressing up together or something.
Just being around in town
Yeah.
at the weekends.
Yeah.
And it's not that big, so
Yeah.
we
Indeed.
met anyway.
That's true.
And it was the time where we didn't need to text each other because you just went out. And then, of course, you met everyone in the same 2 places.
And I guess, I mean, we must have had cell phones already at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time,
we
but
had.
there was no WhatsApp.
No.
It wasn't really a culture yet that you had to double check and, make
Not at
sure everyone is out and there in time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just would hit one of the
Yeah.
few very bars in town
Yeah.
and someone.
And when there is a flat party at your place, well, that came,
Yeah.
I guess, via text.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
then we went there, of
Yeah,
course,
exactly,
because
yeah.
it's always very much fun. We stole a tree once,
Oh my God, yes. We stole a Christmas
a
tree.
Christmas tree.
Well, it wasn't stealing.
No, but they had no purpose.
So when we lived in this shared flat, we used to have many parties and we used pretty much any occasion to have a party. And then, of course, we always threw a Christmas party as well. And it happened to be on the 26th of December or 27th. And then someone said, after official Christmas is over, you may take some of the government trees that they put around town.
Yeah, that was me, because I worked there.
So, okay, you told me.
I
Okay.
worked next door
Yes.
to your flat.
Yes.
And we had those decoration
Yes.
Christmas tree in the building.
Yes.
And they were like, as I said, they have no purpose anymore because Christmas is over and they were lying outside. So we went downstairs.
And we picked the largest one.
Absolutely.
I do remember so we lived in this very old house in the top floor, and it was like there was no elevator yet. It was all wooden stairs, and the landlady, she was quite old already. Yeah, very old. But she and we had a connection together. It was so funny. I was this rebellious teenager that moved out from my parents' house, and we were smoking pot and drinking a lot of beer. And there's this older lady, and she had her husband in the elder care home. And we ended up, I think, me asking how she is. And it was a very hard time for her because she had to put her husband in the assisted living space, and she cried, and I was there to comfort her. And it was this really random connection, but we were so close. And Silvan, one of the flatmates, he was in a ska band, and he would practice playing his saxophone at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was mortified, and the next morning I would meet the landlady, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she's like, "Oh, it was very beautiful." And I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, she had nothing to do at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? And so anyway, back to the Christmas tree. She had this, a lot of old people, they collect these, or they used to collect these plates, when they traveled somewhere, they bring back an ornamented plate from, I don't know, Venice or something with a little drawing on it. And she had them all hung on the stairway.
Yeah.
And over time, over the 5 years we lived there, we managed to take all of them down one by one. And I think the last ones came down when we dragged this big ass Christmas tree through the staircase.
It was double the height your room was.
Yeah, we had to squeeze.
He was in the living room, and we put it in, and it was
at an angle. Yeah, we lodged it in somehow. Yeah.
And you had that green carpet.
Oh yeah, my green carpet.
Yeah. Well, it matched pretty good.
Yeah. It was wonderful. Yeah. Oh my God. So when you think about friendships, and since we've known each other for so long, we know each other's friends and friendship stories. But for our listeners, do you want to talk a little bit about what makes you commit to a long friendship? And how do you decide this is a person I want in my life for a long time?
I'm not sure if it's up to me to decide that.
Fair point. Fair
don't-
point.
Well, you meet people in life and then you click instantly or not. I don't think that this is what's the decision. And then over time, a friendship for me always has to be, you need to give, but you absolutely have to receive something. And that's where the decision is happening.
Mm.
I know friendships don't last when I'm the only one giving and there is nothing coming back in response. And that's the point. And not always it's up to me. Of course, I can decide when I don't want to give, when it's not important enough for me to, give a special effort or invest time in a friendship. It's going to stay on a lower level or it's not going to last. And as soon as a person is important enough for me that I give, and the beautiful moment happens, it's coming back, that's the recipe for long-term friendships.
I absolutely agree. Like even in previous episodes, Tracy, for example, she described it as a seesaw. Doesn't always have to be in perfect balance, but there has to be a balance. It's a two-way street and all that. But it's probably not the only thing. It's a key ingredient that needs to be there for a strong friendship. But it's not that you could go and pick a random person and say, well, as long as we keep giving to one another. So what's other things that you look for in people to have a friendship?
It's hard to tell because honestly, I only have long-term friendships. I can't talk about a friendship I made just recently. The youngest friendship I am having goes back 6.5 years. And I met that person at work. And I don't know why, but instantly it felt like we must know each other such a long time. And we absolutely didn't, but it just felt like. And it's just there, the feeling. And it was obvious for us, even if one of us is not working there anymore, this is a keeper, this is gonna last.
So I guess what I'm fishing for are things, there's typically obvious things like kindness, humor, accountability, responsibility, reliability, things like that. But maybe let me turn around the question. So you have a wonderful young daughter who is 6 years old, and she is very good at making friends, and she's got very strong social skills. As a mom, when you observe how she makes friends, what are the things you watch out for?
On her.
On the people she spends time with. So what are, for example, red flags for you when she brings home a friend and you would almost think like, oh, that's maybe not the best person to be around, or vice versa?
Yeah,
What things
but it's
you're looking?
two different things because she is attracted by, when someone has that stuffed animal she likes,
Okay.
that's topic enough.
That doesn't work on you anymore?
No.
Oh, shit.
No,
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
And I'm like, I see red flags everywhere, but I don't always let her know because she has to find that out on her own.
Yeah.
And she made that experience, and afterwards we talk about that. And I was like, why did you invite that girl to your birthday party when you know she's gonna mess up the group? She's the wild one and she's the bossy one, and the rest of the group was playing so fine together, and they were one. And then was that girl, no, you're not playing with us. And I was like, why do you she invited her because everyone invites her.
Yeah.
So that went to a lesson afterwards.
Yeah. I think you're a fantastic mom, and the way you let your girl have her own experiences, and even if it means falling on her face,
Yeah.
but to learn about people traits and empathy, but also like boundaries is fantastic. But now we're getting closer to what I was fishing for. You know, whether or not you talk to her before or afterwards, but these are the red flags in people, right? And you probably have that with grown-ups as well. So, for example, I bring home a new friend. I find someone new that I bring into our circle or so. I know you are watching like a hawk to make sure that people you love surround themselves with good people. So what are the things you look for, or what are red flags?
Well, that changed a bit over the years with getting older. That changes a lot. And I am now on a point where I can accept, for example, you having a new friend. He's allowed to stay as long as he is kind and not mean or with bad plans. And they are sometimes hard to see on first sight. So I feel it in my gut, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't name them as straight as you could do that, but it's kind of a feeling. When you bring a new friend, it's not automatically my friend as well.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
as I said, everyone is allowed to stay in our circle, but good people.
Good traits, nothing toxic, right? So no selfishness, no manipulation, no controlling, coming back to your daughter's friend, no bossing around. Tolerance is important.
And I guess I have I don't know, I have a pretty good sensor.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I go a healthy distance automatically when I'm not sure about someone. And I really only get close to the good ones. I don't know why.
Yeah, you have a very good sixth sense.
That's why I don't need to have like particular words this person has to match, because I don't know, I feel it somehow. And as soon as I'm insecure, I'm like watch my
on
step.
guard. Yeah. So you have a lot of long-term friendships, and you cultivate them very, very much.
I try to.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
But it's the quality of your friendships is a testament to the amount of work and trust and effort you put in, and that you also get back, as you say. I do remember this one friendship that broke apart in your youth that haunted you for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah, of course. It was so hard for me to understand. What was happening is she moved into another town.
You went to primary or secondary school together, right?
No, we never went to school together.
Okay.
We just were in the same school.
Okay, but never together in class.
No.
Okay.
And after our apprenticeships, she moved away. And for me, this friendship was a fact. And doesn't matter where she is living. Well, I went there. And I went there for a very long time. And she had troubles like we all had with first relationships and living together. And I don't know when, after quite a long time, I realized, well, she's never coming to my place. And I always had to go to her when I want to see her. And that was my lesson, who took quite a long time because I didn't get it like I get it today. I was giving, nothing was coming back.
It was all on her terms.
I didn't just not realize that. I completely didn't understand why. And that's different now because I don't need a why. It's friendships comes and goes. Not everyone who is joining my life is going to stay there forever. And that's completely okay because we all change. I am still changing to better, I hope. But if something is not matching anymore, it's for the better to like accept having a bit of a distance. Maybe that is going to work.
Mm.
Or even to, I wouldn't say break up, but it's okay to focus on other friendships. They are, you know, more important to maintain. And I didn't understood that for such a long time, and it broke my heart, and I was thinking about it so much, and I didn't get it.
It was very,
Now
I
it
remember.
completely made sense. She moved on. She moved into that town and started a completely new life because she wanted it. She until today, I know she doesn't come back in our hometown where we grew up because she don't want to have that memory, and it's her decision. It's absolutely okay. It's important to accept such decisions from other people. And after a very, very long time, I went to Zurich. We went out, and we were in that bar, and then I saw her. A bar, and there was her. I haven't seen her in, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. And I was like, really? And I still have her phone number.
Yeah.
And I was tipsy enough, so like, let's give it a try.
Oh, wow.
And I texted her.
Yeah.
Wasn't that you? Just like, what? Are you there? And I'm moving on with a group, but we will come back. So let's see if you're still there. And I was still there. Of course, I was waiting because I was just interested. How is that gonna go? Yeah. And then she came back, and we said hello, and we had absolutely nothing to talk.
Oh, wow.
I had that person in front of me. She was looking still the same, but I had nothing to say. And that moment made the picture whole for me.
It gave you closure.
Yeah, there was the moment where I was like, that's why.
It wasn't meant to be.
We went such different ways. And today, I will never meet her anywhere because we are on such completely different lifestyles and ways and stuff. And and it's completely fine. It's okay.
And she was very important to you. I remember specifically, we talked so much about her. It took such a big space in your mind. And as you said, you described it as a heartbreak. I had to watch you go through that. It was really detachment process for you to letting this go. And I think what made it very hard is she was one of your best friends at the time.
Yeah.
And to fast forward to today's time, I mean, we had our rows as well.
Yeah.
But what makes the big difference, we always came back to talk about it. It always came back down to communication. And yes, there were tears and we were upset and stubborn and hurt and whatnot. But the magic is, as always, as in any relationship, in the communication. So there is a problem, whatever the problem may be. But then there's how do we communicate about it? It shouldn't be the ultimate goal to find back together no matter what, but to explore together if it makes sense to come back together, if we still have more in common than we have that separated us due to this problem. And I think for me, that's the key.
Yeah.
We had our difficulties over, wrong people in our life and dynamics and childhood trauma and stuff. But the fact that we always could, sometimes we needed a bit of time to steam over it and think over it, but we always came back together and were able to show up both and with an open mind to really understand the other person's feelings and perspective and explore a way forward. But also honestly say, do we still want to be on this way together forward? Back then, I struggled to be brave enough to address certain topics, and sometimes we needed a bit of time to find the words and so on. But there would be nothing that I wouldn't address with you if there was an issue.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's completely different to the younger days, because I think I just haven't been able to have those conversations. And looking back, I think that's one of the reasons too, because she wasn't good at talking at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She managed a lot with herself. And I always used to have not one best friend who I went through all the school years or whatever. I always had quite a group of friends, and I until today, I like having contact with different people. But she kind of was my person back in puberty, and it's an important time. But yeah, as soon as I realized it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
And she came in contact again because she heard that I became a mother,
Yes.
and she heard that I'm mama now, and she just wanted to share that she is a mama too, 2 months before me.
Yeah.
And she found it reason enough to contact me. And it was funny because I switched back and was like texting back, and I was thinking, ooh, maybe this is going to bring us in contact again. Well, no, it wasn't. It was me again texting 2 or 3 times,
Oh.
and nothing was coming back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But as I already learned, I like, oh, wow. Yeah.
Here we are again
Yeah.
in the same
It's
pattern.
not reason enough.
Yeah.
It was just a random, try to contact me to tell me something. And ever since, never heard of her.
This conversation makes me think of something that we joke about a lot. I'm the feeler person. I need to talk everything to the ground and so on. But we've known each other so long, and we have learned from one another a lot. I feel.
Yeah.
I've learned from you about boundaries. Due to my childhood stuff, I was the typical people pleaser. I was friends with everyone all the time. I was always the one giving. So you taught me boundaries. And also, by the way, with my mom, I remember you sat me down a few times and, gave it to me straight. And you're like, this is not okay. And that's the reason why. And this is what it should be like, and so on. And I learned that from you. And you are so well organized and structured. And I think when we met, and for some years, you were very black and white, and I was all gray. And I think that's probably the main thing we learned from one another. I learned to be black and white sometimes, and you learned that there can be a lot of gray in between.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think all those differences we have, every one of them, a few of them were very hard, but they made me to who I am today.
Oh,
Yeah. And that's also one of the things, not everyone can handle my directness. And that decides who is coming close to me or not, because that's one thing we know now I cannot change. So
I love your directness. And
not everyone.
what I love about it the most? I learned through you that I have this natural directness as well. And I was taught for a very long time, back home as a child, you're not supposed to say things and ask things and beat around the bush, sugarcoat everything, right? And then later in business, it's like, oh, for a woman, you're way too direct. And you taught me that it's something good, because I was told for pretty much all my life that directness is something bad. And I learned through you that being direct doesn't mean being offensive or
Not
being
at
an ass. You can be
No.
very direct, but in a nice way.
Yeah,
You don't have to be sweary or insulting.
No.
Just naming something head on. Why
Bring
beat
it
around the
to the
bush?
point.
Yes.
That has to be well meant.
Yeah, good intentioned, yeah.
Absolutely. And you can pack a few nice words on it if needed, but it just spares time.
Yeah.
It's so much easier if you can be completely honest and bring it to the point, talk as you are used to talk, and you don't have to talk in a way the other is gonna hopefully understand it. That makes it so complicated.
Yes, of course, if you care about someone, you kind of have to think, how do I say it so people are receptive and open to it? But again, it's that well-intention that people can feel, right? And we said this many times in the podcast already. If not your close friends, who else will tell you that you're doing a mistake? that you're being an ass, that you over or underreacted or something like that. So that directness and that candor is something so valuable. So we have a question that I ask most people. So what's the craziest, on the risk that it's going to fall back on me somehow? What's the craziest thing you've done for a friend? Not necessarily me, anyone.
Well, there are a few things. Most of them involve you. Yeah. I start with that one friend who is bringing me out of my comfort zone on a regular basis. My comfort zone in relation to activities.
Yeah.
So once I went to a bike camp in the mountains, and it was about technique and stuff, and
Like downhill or...
Well, it came out, it's a downhill camp for women.
Okay.
And I was hoping, it's still about, the slower ones and technique and learning. No, it was a full 3-day camp downhilling. And at that point, I wasn't as fit as I am today. So I was completely the last one, always. And then you have that pressure. And it's a bit dangerous if you're, and if you get scared, you make the big mistakes and then you fall. And I don't want to fall because I'm already a bit old. Or hikings. Oh, she brought me up to mountains I would never went up to 20 years ago because I didn't even like hiking. And so that's one part. And she still does it until today. Yeah, she has new ideas. I want to go. Of course I do. And then there is you. Well, even a podcast, I don't think anyone else will invite me to a podcast, nor do I plan it to do myself in the near future. So this is quite an experience. But we do it for you, as you know. Yeah. You want to tell the other story?
Oh my God, I know which one. Yeah, go on,
well,
tell it.
It just describes, we can say everything
Oh,
to
we
each
can
other.
everything, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the one with the pimple.
Yes.
Yes, oh God.
Yes. You felt something on your back and you called me, and I remember that call. I was working. No, I was at home because my daughter was only little. Yeah. And then you call, feeling something there. And I was like, yeah, what should I do? Like, my daughter is sleeping, and I'm like, can I come to your place and can you make it go away? And then you came and nothing was there.
I thought I had this huge pimple on my back.
Yeah.
And
you thought you had one, but there wasn't one.
Well, the thing is, I think I panicked. So important to know, I have this thing about, I don't know, what's it called in English? Pus or so, like the yellow stuff that oozes from a wound or occasionally is in a pimple. So I have this disgust with this stuff, even though. Anyway, so I was convinced I have a disgusting pimple on my back, and I panicked. So I called you from the car and I'm like, I'm coming to you, but you have to help me. And then I threw myself on your couch, ripped off my shirt, and I said, make it go away. And you were like, what the fuck? There is nothing. And I was like, no, I can feel it.
And I'm different. I'm enjoying these things.
Oh, you love to pop pimples.
It was new for our relationship. I'm used to it on my own, on my body. But
Yeah, but anyway, so there was no pimple.
No. I was disappointing. I was expecting a lot of fun, but no. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay, so here's another question for you. And I read this on some kind of friendship cards or something on Instagram, and I thought it was very funny. So if I were to lose my memory tomorrow, and you had to remind me that you're my friends and why we're friends, what would you tell me about us that would hopefully trigger my memory?
I maybe would do a PowerPoint presentation with pictures because they say a lot of
They
more.
say it all, yeah.
And when you see yourself in it, and I can also imply videos. I guess I would. I would come up with a PowerPoint presentation with the best of our memories. That would be quite long, and then you can watch it every morning.
And how would you describe our friendship? So I'm thinking, what makes this friendship unique?
You.
Well, and you obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm the only one who forces you to dress up all the time for
Definitely.
various occasions, right? And
Well, you're the only one forcing me at all.
doing things.
Doing things, well, hilarious things. As we know, not always I thought the same way about dressing up and stuff like you. I was so annoyed in the beginning, and then I was like, oh, that's not so bad anyway. But until today, there are things I'm doing because I know they're important for you, and I don't care that much anymore. So let's do it anyway, and it's gonna be fun anyway. I know it. I don't have those ideas. You are the one with the crazy ideas, and I'm so happy that I'm one of the persons you invite to do this. And I'm also grown enough to refuse when I really don't want.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's not often, but
No.
it can happen, and that's okay too. But
And I had to learn to accept that. In the
Yes.
beginning, we rowed quite a bit because I didn't know that
didn't stop.
I've become good at like, cannot, I know you want to, da da da. And now
just-
these days I know exactly a no means no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like
And I like that you like it now.
I know. Yeah.
So, wrapping up, as you know, I wanted to build this podcast because you read everywhere about the world loneliness crisis, and it really hurts my heart because we have such close friendships that give so much to our lives. I wanted to inspire and encourage other people to get some of that because it's so enriching, and I can't literally a life without my friends. I could not imagine it. I would be so devastated and sad. So for listeners that may feel lonely or that may struggle to form friendships or that, have someone close in their life that is lonely, what are some pieces of advice that you would give to people to bring more friendship love, more closeness to their lives?
Well, if you have friends or friendships, not that close, but you have them, then you can invest time. You can try to make them closer friends than they are today. I think the hardest thing is if you don't have any friends. I think that's the real one. And those people I would encourage to go out of your house, out of your flat, join groups,
Like a special interest clubs or so, yeah.
sports or whatever. Join physically groups. Find people who is interested in the same things as you are, because I think that's the easiest way to have access to other people when you share interests.
You have a common connection already.
Yeah, and you may search online where they are, but that's it. After that, it comes down to physical contact. Go out, meet people, and listen to your gut, whether those are good people or not. But I guess that comes in another stadium of developing. First of all, get out, meet people, and be brave and try. And
And you assumed that it's easier to turn acquaintances into friends rather than meeting completely new people. And I get why you're saying that. And I agree, it's different hurdles. But I think the going out part, the making yourself available to the world, to potential people, that's one, emotional, psychological hurdle potentially. Because again, it's all about vulnerability. You're completely letting your hair down. You're being vulnerable, exposed, afraid to be hurt. But then the next stage, I think all these same things apply as well. For example, a work friend that you quite like, but then for the first time, for example, go and ask, hey, do you fancy doing something in our spare time? Go for a coffee or dinner or so. I find that can be equally challenging, probably.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what can you lose?
Yeah.
There's nothing to lose. Maybe you could take classes learning a new language.
Mm.
Those lessons are mostly in the evenings.
Mm.
And like it's served to you to ask not only one person, why not asking the whole group?
Anyone
Let's
up
go
for a drink
afterwards.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you are able to talk to them in another environment. And then I think everyone has it, that feeling. To which ones are you more connected than others? And then you know, who am I asking next time? Maybe for drinks and have talks.
And just like a one-to-one or so.
Yeah, and that could be like a roadmap.
And in these settings, if you throw the question in like, hey, anyone up for a drink after? I feel people who are open to new friendships, they will say yes, because they will jump onto this opportunity as well, and probably be glad someone asked this so they didn't have to.
2 points. I think, first of all, don't be scared if no one has time today and they are like postponing it to the next week. Be aware that's a scenario that could happen. Second, the other person has empathy too. They maybe get that you are insecure and trying something, and maybe you have one person in that group realizing, I guess, that guy's trying something new. You know what I want to say?
It's a bit
like,
on a ledge, out on a ledge.
Okay, I don't have time, but let's do this. Nice idea. And it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's not only you have to try. Of course, you have to. The first effort, but you ask a group, and there are so many other characters, and hopefully one of them gets it, and then the stone is rolling.
And every friendship has to start somewhere, right?
Yes.
It's not too late, and what can come out of it is amazing.
Is life.
You are one of the loves of my life.
You are too.
Thank you for taking part. Thank you.
If you like this content, follow the show and find us on social media. See you there.